Hi, I'm Carmen and welcome back. I'm here at Operation Food Search in the Bear Healthy Community Kitchen for today's episode of Cooking with Carmen. As part of our mission to heal hunger, Operation Food Search teaches families how to cook delicious food on a budget. Thanks for joining for episode 30. Today we're talking all about plant-based protein sources and the main benefits of including at least 3 meatless meals in your overall eating pattern. These benefits include a lower grocery bill, a more balanced diet, time savings when cooking, and a positive environmental impact. There are many studies that show that a plant-based diet is associated with reduced obesity, diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease, as well as increased life expectancy. But why is that? Plant-based protein typically contains more fiber and less saturated fat, which are 2 factors that are a foundation of an overall healthy diet. There are many versatile plant-based sources of protein that fit into a healthy eating plan. Legumes like beans, lentils, peas, and peanuts. Soy products like tofu, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. As someone who personally enjoys a wide variety of foods, including animal proteins, cutting out meat completely is not on the table for me. Some good news is that many other studies show that simply going meatless 1 day a week or 3 meals spread throughout the week may reduce your risk of preventable chronic diseases. For more information on going meatless once a week, check out meatlessmonday.com. So today we are going to be cooking a veggie and tofu stir fry with a peanut sauce. So we have 2 sources of plant-based protein. We have soy product with our tofu, and we have those legumes with our peanuts. So we're going to get started with the peanut sauce first. So I'm going to start with 2/3 a cup of creamy peanut butter. Just regular old peanut butter. Gives a really great flavor. And that's the sign of a good peanut sauce. And then we have 1/3 of a cup of water, and this will help thin the sauce because the peanut butter is very thick. We have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, or you can use honey if that's what you have. I like the flavor of brown sugar in this recipe, but honey also gives a great flavor. And then we have 3 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce. Right in we go. And then you can use 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar or lime juice. And today I'm going to use lime juice. So I always like to roll it on the table first to kind of get those juices loosened up. Then I'll just cut it in half and squeeze it right on in there. This is a great task for kids. They can help make this sauce. Even squeezing the lime is fun. So I'm not measuring this. I'm just using an entire lime. But again, if you're doing rice vinegar, it is 2 tablespoons. All right. And then we have some red pepper flakes. So you can use up to 2 teaspoons or more. I'm using a little less because I guess I don't like things super spicy. And then we just take our whisk and you whisk it to combine. You want to make sure that there aren't any lumps of the peanut butter in there. You can also use a fork if you don't have a whisk. But really adding all that liquid helps the peanut butter kind of blend in with the sauce. Oh, this is looking good. And you can always taste it here too and see if you want to add some more spice to it or maybe more acidity with the vinegar or the lime juice. Oh, it's looking good. Looks a little chunky for a little bit, but then it gets nice and smooth. This is great for dipping veggies in, or if you make soft spring rolls, it's really good with that. I just like making this as a great simple stir-fry sauce. All right, so we have our sauce nicely whisked together. And the next step is we are going to chop up our tofu. I'll set my whisk aside. So I have some firm tofu here, and I already drained the liquid. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. Get my tofu out of the packaging. And it comes out in one big block. So we're just going to dice it up into small bite-sized pieces. And we're actually going to add it right into the sauce. So I like to just cut these into like long strips like this. And then once I have a few cut, I'll kind of stack it up on top of each other and I'll cut it in half again long ways. And then I cut them into little bite-sized pieces. So you see they turn out to be little small pieces of tofu. And then as I'm cutting them, I'm just gonna add them right into our peanut sauce. What's nice about tofu, it's pretty bland as is. And it's kind of like the sponge of the food world where it soaks up all those good flavors. But anything that you add to it, it soaks it up. Very versatile plant-based protein source. A lot of people ask me what exactly tofu is. It's basically a soy curd. So it's like soybeans that are curdled, and then they're pressed into this square shape. There are a variety of textures of tofu at the store. So there's silky tofu, there's firm tofu, and there's even extra firm tofu. I like using the firm tofu in my stir fries, and I've actually added the silky tofu to smoothies or like a fruit dip when I mix it with yogurt. Adds a little extra protein. And again, it's pretty flavorless, so it really hides well in a lot of recipes. It's low in calories, but very high in protein, and has a lot of good nutrients for you in there as well. All right, so we've chopped up our tofu. We'll add it all in here. I'm just going to take my spoon and stir it, and it really doesn't need to soak that long, so it really absorbs those flavors pretty quickly. So I'm just going to set this aside and get started on the rest of the recipe. So I'm going to get my pan heating up here. And then I'm going to add in a tablespoon of oil as it's heating up. And I'm going to make sure I have the rest of my ingredients. So I have a whole bag of those frozen stir-fry veggies that you find at the store. It's a great mixture of vegetables. You don't have to do any chopping. It's all done for you. And then I have some peanuts and some cilantro to garnish. And we're going to serve this over some whole grain noodles that I've already cooked, and they're setting to the side. So it's nice and heated up. So I'm going to dump the whole bag right on in here. And basically you want to cook this until they're tender and cooked through. So just a few minutes. And this one has some of those water chestnuts in there, which give a nice crunch to the stir fry. All right, so while this is cooking, I'm going to go back to those 4 main benefits that I mentioned earlier. So those were the lower grocery bill, a more balanced diet, time saver, and helping the environment. Those are all great benefits of choosing plant-based proteins at least 3 times a week. The more, the better. But again, if you're like me, all foods fit on the table. So even just choosing 3 meatless meals a week is key. So first is that lower grocery bill. So vegetarian proteins are often less expensive than meat. So including a few meatless meals featuring beans or tofu can definitely lower your total food bill. The next is a more balanced diet. So when you substitute animal proteins with vegetarian proteins, those and like including whole grains and veggies as well, you end up with a diet that's higher in fiber and offers a wider variety of essential vitamins and minerals. And you still get plenty of protein, like tofu is still packed full of good for you protein. Time saver. So since most meat options do take some time and effort to prepare, a lot of vegetarian or meatless meals can be a bit speedier to make. So I like to keep canned beans in my pantry, tofu, as well as whole grains and lots of vegetables on hand. I keep them in my pantry, my fridge, my freezer, all food fit. And those help make those quick meals during the week. As you can see, this tofu really doesn't need to be cooked. You can eat it as is, but we're just going to be heating it up in our stir fry. And then lastly, it may help the environment. So raising animals for food requires a lot of land, fossil fuel, water, and food. So cutting back on some of the meat you eat could be a good way to reduce your environmental impact. Just a few benefits of going meatless. This is getting nice and sizzling. And this is a great recipe to use whatever vegetables you have on hand. So like I always think of stir fries as those like clear the fridge kind of meals. So if I have a bell pepper that has like a few soft spots, I'll chop that up and add it in here. If you have some broccoli in the back of your fridge, throw it in here. Really any vegetable works here. Like zucchini would be a great addition. Asparagus, really anything that you have. Stir fry is very forgiving with what vegetables you add to it. I'm cooking it at a high heat too, so I'm at like medium high. You'll get a nice caramelization on some of these veggies as they start to cook. If you have any questions, as always, leave us a comment below. We love answering questions. Or if you have any, some of your favorite meatless meals, we'd love to hear about those. This is looking good. I just love how quickly this comes together. On those super busy nights, I won't even make my own sauce. I'll just use the pre-bottled teriyaki sauce or stir-fry sauce, even faster. But you saw this sauce came together super fast. All right, our veggies are nice and tender. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in our whole bowl of the tofu and the peanut sauce. The tofu's been sitting here marinating, soaking in the flavor like the sponge that it is. So go ahead and dump the whole thing in. And like I said, tofu does not need to be completely cooked because it is already cooked. You can eat it as is. So we're basically just heating it up. Oh, you can smell the peanut butter. It smells so good. We're just going to heat it up until the tofu is heated through and the sauce kind of thickens a little. Gosh, this looks delicious. And this is really good over rice or quinoa. But like I said, I'm using a whole grain spaghetti noodle. So it's kind of like that Chinese noodles or Asian noodles. You just use your regular whole grain spaghetti noodles. And then we're going to add in our tofu stir fry. Really does not take a long time to heat up. Get a variety of veggies in there. Broccoli and red bell pepper. We all eat with our eyes first. All right, we'll turn this off. And then we just have some extra peanuts here. So just the unsalted, dry roasted peanuts. I like adding extra crunch. Especially with tofu, like tofu is a little softer, so adding a little crunch can give you a little fun variety in your mouth as you're eating this dish. And then I love cilantro. I think it adds great bright flavor. It makes it very pretty. So we have a little cilantro to our stir fry. And here it is, delicious peanut, veggie and tofu stir fry with peanut sauce. Smells so good, and I am so excited to dive into this for lunch today. Thank you so much for watching today's episode on plant-based proteins. Remember to set a goal of choosing 3 meatless meals a week to get the benefits of a lower grocery bill, a more balanced diet, those speedy meals, and to help the environment. If you have any questions or made today's recipe, please leave us a comment below. And remember to like our page if you haven't already, and visit our website to learn more about our work and how we nourish and educate our neighbors in need to heal the hurt of hunger. As we transition to offering classes back out in the community, we have shifted to featuring the Facebook Live show to once a month. So we will see you in July on the first Wednesday of the month. Stay healthy.